Khan Shalom Akyam. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about the MOTB developments that take place upon this earth. And during this lesson, I want to go over 5 articles that talk about different things that play a big role or part in the leading up towards the MOTB, which is the Marcus of the Beastos. In this time, we're not really able to speak about the actual words, because they might take down our videos, which means that the edification is gone. So we try to be a little bit more cryptic concerning the things that we bring out, but Yahawashi, the understanding is still there concerning what we actually talk about. Even Yahawashi said, unto them is not given to know the mysteries. So yeah, you see. So the first article that I want to go into is on endtimeheadlines.org, and the article reads: Amazon expands palm scanning payment tag to 65 more Whole Foods locations. And as we're gonna find out, this palm scanning payment is very similar to the movement that is going to be used in the time to come once the MOTB is actually enforced upon the people, which the MOTB is the RFID or the NFC chip. And the only way for you to pay in the near future is by you having your hand scanned where your chip actually is inserted or implanted. And it says Amazon One Palm Scanner payment technology will be launching at over 65 Whole Food stores in California. This is the biggest rollout to date, with stores in Malibu, Montana Avenue, Santa Monica, Los Angeles, Orange County, Sacramento, the San Francisco Bay Area, and Santa Cruz receiving the tag that aims to modernize retail shopping. So one of the things that they actually bring out is that that it's going to be increase the modernization, and what we're experiencing right now on this earth is the 4th industrial revolution, which involves the merging of humans with technology. So what they're actually saying is that this earth is slowly and surely being prepared, to be merged with man and technology, which the RFID technology that is referring to the MOTB is a major part of biblical prophecy. And it says, when the checkout devices were first announced in 2020, Amazon One was available in Amazon Go stores, with an eventual expansion to Whole Food stores in Austin, Seattle, Los Angeles, and New York City. Customers can also try checking out with their hand at the Amazon Style Fashion Store in Glendale, California, along with select Fresh and Go stores. See, so on more locations, they're bringing out this technology. And over here in the Netherlands, as far as to my understanding, there is no such payment system as the Amazon One Palm Scanner payment technology. But what we do have over here is cashless registers, and also basically cashierless registers, which means that the only way for you to pay is with your card, and there's no actual person involved, to basically scan your products. I mean, you have to do it all by yourself. You see, and all these things are part of the bigger picture, which is the RFID technology that's going to be implemented. You see, and what we do have in some stores here and there is a single, or maybe they have two of them, is a self checkout. Basically, self checkout what I was just describing, but that you can put your cash in. You just put your money in there. It calculates how much money you put in according to I don't know what measure, and then you just paid your groceries, man. But the steps are being taken, for this technology, man. And one of the things that I was meditating about yesterday is this: how far or how deep down with our knees into the mud, or how far do we need to be, within the society concerning the development before the people are actually gonna realize, that what the servants, the prophets of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, starting off with the elder apostles of great Millstone on down, and I'll be talking about concerning this technology. How far deep down do we need to be before these people are actually gonna wake up and realize that, you know, this was already foretold, man. This was prophesied. People have been warned about this, for it to happen, and that the time is gonna come that you won't be able to participate in this society without this technology, man. As we're gonna go into the other articles as well, Yahawah, of course, we're gonna find out that there are a lot of things that are building up towards this technology. You see, towards the development, you know, of the I say that not the institution, but of the of the inst. Let me find a better word for that. Um, implementation of the implementation of the marks of the beastos, the MOTB. You see, but let me read on in the article. Um, it says Amazon One is part of the company's mission to use contactless technology that makes it faster to pay. The tech works like this: users visit a kiosk or a point of sale station at participating locations to link their palm and payment card to the service. Then all they have to do during the checkout process is hover their hand over a scanner to complete the transaction. And if you, as we're gonna find out later on, in the Tesla driver that is gonna use this technology to also access his car, you're gonna see how he swipes his hand to have access to his car, which that same swipe will be used for the payment that people are gonna make in the future with this, RFID technology. It says Amazon One creates palm signatures using machine learning to identify customers. While the kiosk takes a picture of a user's palm, the company says it doesn't store the image but instead encrypts it and sends it to a server for matching. As Amazon customers continue giving up their data for a more convenient shopping experience, concerns concerns increase about privacy. See, but actually, these concerns are actually legitimate because slowly but surely the rights of the people is taken away, and that's a fact. It says if you use Face ID or fingerprint scanners, you already use biometric data. However, it's likely some users aren't okay with the idea that Amazon One may allow the company to track your movements. So yeah, that was the first article. Let me go into Revelation 13 first. Let's bring out the scripture. Um, and it says Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and it says, "And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And he's referring to the revived Roman Empire, which is this current society that we live in. And it says causeth, and if you look up the word causeth in the Blue Letter Bible, you get the Greek word poeo. The Greek word poeo, if you look in the Biblical usage, one of the meanings that it can be used for means to prepare. So when it says in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, where it says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, it actually goes into how this society is being prepared for everybody to receive this technology, whether you are, uh, um, a child, whether you are an adolescent, whether you are a great or a small person within a society, whether you have money or whether you are poor, whether you're imprisoned or whether you are so-called free, everybody eventually has to receive this mark in order to participate in this society. See, which is to revive Roman Empire. Um, and that word mark, if you go a little more deeper into it, it goes into the word karakma, which is an imprint mark. It goes even deeper than that because if you go into the word karakma, it goes back to the word karax, which means a pure stake, which that represents the syringe being used to eventually inject this technology with. Go even deeper, you get grapho, which means to store the writing, or that's the stored information that can be put upon the chip for it to be useful within the society. So everybody, you know, eventually has to receive this in order to participate in this society, man. But we, the servant of the prophets of Yahawashi, we see these developments happen upon the earth, and we're warning the people not to take this. Because if you take this technology, you're going to receive severe judgment by thermonuclear missiles. This is Revelation chapter 14, starting at verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So those that actually are in favor of how this society is being run and eventually also accept this technology, they're the ones, to eat a missile. They're going to be destroyed, by nuclear fire. So we, starting off with the other apostles, GMS on down, we warn the people and tell them not to take this, and with the people we actually mean our own people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Mm, This is this is Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord Yahawah, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." See, so we have to speak towards our people, which are the Israelites, and we, um, have to speak towards them the words of prophecy, which that goes into the things that still need to happen. Because why? Because the things that we actually bring out can be trusted, that can be relied upon to come to pass. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So we should not be worried about those that don't believe the things they were saying or the imaginations that they have towards us, because eventually, whether they were here or forbear, those that don't want to listen to what we have to say and don't want to uh, come back to Yahawashi, this is going to happen to them. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. See, so those that don't want to believe the things that we actually bring out through the spirit above Yahawashi, these people are going to die a horrible death, man. And if they take it, they're going to die, by thermonuclear missiles, like I mentioned before. So, this is Revelation 13 and verse 17. And if no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. since you're not able to participate within the society, and within its verse, it specifically talks about you're not able to buy or sell, not able to go to the grocery stores no more to buy your food, not able to, make transactions, receive your salary. You're not able to, if you don't put this technology within your body. So let me go to the articles again. This one is concerning China, and it says big developments in China. Big developments in China is preparing the world for the coming mark of the beast. And it says, have you ever wondered about the passage in the Bible about a government restricting the population so that you cannot buy or sell unless you have a particular mark? Well, China's move towards a cashless society is the answer. This is where the entire world is literally being set up for that kind of government control. You see, and I also mentioned that, with the other article, certain steps are being taken, whether it's, the cashless society, because think about it. You can have a cashless society and still use your phone and the card, you see. But once you put that technology within your skin, the RFID technology within your skin, you basically make a blood covenant with with the devil, with Esau. See, that's what they want to go towards because hey, you know, your phone might get stolen, or you might lose your credit card or something. So everything is being prepared, man. Whether it's the way that people are being programmed to use their hand on the scanner, whether it's the cashless society being created by trying to get away with the cash. All these things are moves to set up that the kind of government that it's talking about in this article. It says the Chinese government is pushing ahead on many fronts to restrict what its population can and cannot do. They already restrict the right of assembly. They already restrict religious freedom. They certainly restrict political speech and any speech that is critical of their government and the way they run things. Definitely crack down on. All you have to do is look at what's happened in Hong Kong over the past 2 years. You get a very clear picture where they're going, but they want to control, and they're doing it right now with social credit scoring, where if you don't score a particular way, you're not allowed to travel. That's already in place. But just imagine a government that if you step out of line, they can now turn off all your money and do it instantly, so you cannot buy or sell. You don't have the right in the marketplace to participate anymore. See, this is being developed in China and is eventually being rolled out. And this is going to be a world event because it's going to be the hour of temptation, which the whole world is going to be tried whether they're going to bow down to Esau Edom, whether they are going to bow down to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, or whether they're going to bow down to just plain survival mode. Because you have that as well. You see those that see what's happening upon the earth and don't agree with it, but don't necessarily see it as I don't want to say a religious thing, but something that is related to a uh, prophetic book. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the time is going to come, which is going to be referred to as the hour of temptation, in which this technology is going to be rolled out. You see, and once this technology is being rolled out, the people are going to have to make a choice. And Yahawashi, those that kept the word of of the patience, are the ones that were able to suffer through all these things, for Yahawashi Yahawashi's sake, and then the Most High decides to protect them during that time as well, so that they won't be in a pitiful case, due to the circumstances that were created upon the earth due to this technology being rolled out. Because if we go back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast," which the image of the beast is referring to the way in which the society is being set up, the things that are being allowed. And in Dutch, they have a certain saying like gedoogd. Let me look up that word in the English. Tolerated, tolerated. So the things that are being tolerated, so Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which, like I said, the image of the beast is referring to the way that this society is being set up. Whether you tolerate that or not, or whether you are down with it or not. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you're not down with the ways of the society, if you don't tolerate the things that are being done upon this earth, you know, then you're going to be you're going to be killed, man. And that also includes this technology being rolled out. If you're not down with this technology and put it within your body, then there's also a punishment, for that, by the government eventually. See, so the time that is ahead of us is not, called, the hour of temptation for nothing. Because think about it, you know, people get killed if they don't take it. They get, they, they might be chased, by the government, to eventually be taken down, hunted, for not, being down with this technology, and things like that. So the people are being put in a very critical situation, which are the what is it, the unrighteous decrees that they create, um, so that the people, because of fear, decide to choose, you know, their life, so-called, for a short moment of time, the comfort that they have by choosing that technology. Meanwhile, if you choose that technology, you might prolong your life a little bit, but the result of that eventually is going to be devastating, man. Because you're going to be ashamed for what you did, because that shows you that how close you actually was to the kingdom. But right before the kingdom, you forfeited. You forfeited the fact that it only was a short amount of time that was left that you had to survive and show some faith towards the heavenly Father that He would take care of you, and you forfeited, man. He was like, man, I don't want to be hunted down. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to, no, man. But hey, everybody has got his or her lot concerning that. But we be those that won't be, partakers of that set judgment. Or just that we being set up for salvation, and to make it out of all these trials and tribulations that are set before us, including the time of the hour of temptation. Uh, it says that's what digital currency allows government to do. And if you think it's just going to happen in China, think again. The Federal Reserve already has a study group looking at a digital currency for the United States. Why are they doing that? Because they're afraid China will usurp the US and become the world currency. That digital currency is taking over, and this could be the case. But think about China as well. China is some sort of testing ground. China has a very large population. How docile are these people to just get along with it? How far are they able to go? What technology can be implemented there? Are people still down with it? Is there going to be a lot of resistance, yay or nay? How long does it take for them to adopt this new technology and be done with it? So China is just a forerunner, man. China is just a forerunner for um, for the things that is happening upon the earth. It says, so you see all the action happening in in the stock markets, the various markets for Bitcoin and other digital currencies, the rapid rise and people becoming overnight millionaires, billionaires based on the value of these digital currencies. And so the Federal Reserve wants to get in on that action to protect the US dollar as the world currency. It says Biden's cash-free central bank digital currency coming this December. This is the next article that we're going to go into, and this is concerning America uh, creating this central bank digital currency, which is one step closer to a cashless society in America as well. It says President Biden is set to roll out a cash-free system this December via a newly formed central bank digital currency. Executive Order 14067, signed by Biden, gives the elites the power to create CBDCs, distribute them at will, steal them from you whenever they want, and shut it off if you do something they don't approve of. See, so you eventually uh, have less and less rights as a human being. Freedom is taken away slowly but surely. It says, but this is beyond communism. This is permanent and in overt slavery. They are no longer hiding it. We are not free, and they intend to make it permanent. It would behoove everyone to listen up and stand together to oppose this and refuse to participate. Choosing CBDC is literally choosing to be slave before we were lied to, and propaganda was used to make sure we thought we were free. This is overt and in our faces now. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue the illusion. Kiyosaki called President Joe Biden's signed executive order the most tre- uh, treasonous act in US history, and he isn't the only one speaking out against it. Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, is calling it a step toward the end of cash. You see? One step toward the end of cash. Which, like I said, this earth is being prepared. Like that word, deposit goes into as well, um, to eventually receive this RFID technology. Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street. The new digital tokens can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you're doing. Be ready, because this is the slavery we have been warning is coming. Not that we aren't slaves now, but this is the complete abandonment of the illusion, the end game. Thanks to Section 4 of Biden's Executive Order 14067, calling for urgent research into developing the digital dollar, I believe the US dollar, the standard of the world since 1792, will be replaced by a new currency. The digital dollar, Rickard said. But this has been in the works for a long time. It's all part of the plan. They even tried to desensitize the world to this during the claiming the Freedom coins and cash. This is literally this literally is good for no one except those who create the currency and want power over everyone else. I call the digital dollar Biden bucks because I want him to take full credit for what I consider to be crimes, says Rickards. This is not like the money in your online bank account. No, this is new and different. Every digital dollar will be a programmable token, like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But there's a big difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized digital currencies. Instead, if it plays out the way I see it, Biden bucks will have the full backing of the US Federal Reserve. This will replace the cash fiat dollar we have now and will soon be the sole mandatory currency of the United States. You see, so these CBDCs, these central bank digital currencies, the countries or the nations that the people live in, those countries, those nations can make it mandatory for the people to only be able to use the CBDCs. And at first, that might only be used through the phone or through the card, but as things are developing, eventually this RFID technology is going to be instated. How things are going to uh, happen precisely, I can't tell you, but as a on a grander scale, you know, this is playing out before our eyes, man, just like the scriptures talk about. It says, if you haven't realized that government is slavery yet, it is probably a good time to get on the right side of history. This new CBDC will begin an era of total government control and surveillance, Ricketts stated according to WND. This is not hyperbole. This would dramatically expand the power and influence of the federal government, essentially acting as a new type of spyware. With Biden bucks, the government will be able to force you to comply with its agenda, because if you don't, they could turn off your money. This won't be like freezing a bank account. This will be so much easier. You see, so this man himself, Rickards, I don't know his complete name, but he himself is not even considering the technology that we're discussing right now in this video, the RFID microchip technology. He's not even considering that. He's not even considering that that is eventually part of the plan of the elites as well, which eventually is the plan of Yahawashi. You see, but he himself says that if you don't do things according to how the government wants you to do it, they can just freeze your account, make sure you don't have no money, nothing. You see, and that's just a small thing that they will be able to do. You know, so the next article goes into that this Tesla driver put this RFID technology in his hand. So we're gonna play it. Sound. Otherwise, I might get copyright infringement or something. You see, that's the pillar stake that was being used to basically penetrate the hand, the skin. Now it's going to show you what he's going to do with basically the flick of a wrist. If you think about it, man, it looks stupid as hell. With your hand there like this. So there's a RFID scanner within his car that is able to scan his hand, man. And just like it's able to scan his hand for the information the car needs to open his car, like it also goes into the word grapho. If you dig a little bit deeper into the word mark, karakma, karax, grapho, there's stored information on this chip, which is financial, medical, uh, concerning identity. Let me see what else it says. It says a tiny chip inserted into the right hand of Tesla owner Brandon Dalali is now all he needs to unlock his vehicle. Dalali shared a video on Twitter and YouTube of having the VivoKey Apex chip implanted by a professional piercer. The chip is contactless and covered with a biocompatible substance. It uses the same near-field communication that makes Apple Pay possible. You see, NFC chip, RFID chip is the same thing. After the quick $400 procedure, the Lala uses the back of his hand to unlock his Tesla. He told media site Teslarati that this chip isn't the he told media site Teslarati that this chip isn't the first implant. He has a smaller chip implanted in his left hand that stores his contact and medic information and the key to his house. The whole idea was that I would have my house key in my left hand and my car key in my right hand, he told Teslarati. So this man actually has these things for convenience sake. And that's also one of the tricks that they're able to pull in the future. Make it very convenient for the people to have this. The last article that we're going to go into is concerning South America. It says South America's second most populous country is now ready for a digital currency. It says a top official who oversees Colombia's financial regulation and tax collection agency says that the second most populous South American nation is exploring the idea of rolling out its own digital currency, similar to the article concerning Joe Biden and America. In a new interview with Semana magazine, National Tax and Customs Directorate Dion Director General Luis Carlos Reyes said that the government of newly elected President Gustavo Petro is considering the creation of a CBDC or central bank digital currency. CBDCs are an electronic form of government-backed money issued and regulated by a nation's central bank. Ray says that the primary objective of creating a CBDC is to curb tax evasion, which he estimates to stand at 6 to 8% of the nation's gross domestic product. So, right now people might be able to you know, make a little bit money on the side, underhand money, but once a nation has completely done away like with cash and everything is uh, centralized with the digital currency, and the only way for you to participate within society is by having that same currency uh, or making use of the same currency. You're not able to fraud with that. You're not able to commit any fraud with that because think about it. Every transaction that you make can be checked. If I'm correct, there's a certain code or a certain information, linked towards every transaction that you make. You're able to track and be like, hey, what did you do on that day with that, and where is that money coming from? You see, it says the official says that sales made in cash are not recorded. You see, thus people can avoid paying taxes, such as the value added tax (VAT) on those transactions. He says that tax cheating incidents can be avoided with the use of digital Colombian pesos, as all transactions will be kept track of. Like I mentioned, it says one of the important goals is that when payments of a certain amount are made, they are recorded in an electronic medium. This measure would avoid this type of underhanded transactions. You see? So these governments, these nations coming up with all kind of convenient reasons why they want to use it. They portray towards the public certain convenience, why the RFID technology or the NFC technology is very convenient for them. How much more easier it is, to just put your hand on a certain scanner, which already programs the minds of the people. By all that is more convenient, but it's all to build up towards that hour of temptation, man, in which the whole earth is going to be tried with this technology. Whether you're gonna bow down to Esau, whether you're gonna bow down to Yahawashi, whether you're gonna, try to survive on your own, you know, without having the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, but trying to survive according to the flesh. So these were the developments that I wanted to talk about in this lesson. How America, has a couple of Amazon stores concerning Whole Foods and things like that that are expanding with palm scanning payments. Developments in China, developments in America concerning the CBDCs. How uh, people are able to use the technology in their hands to drive their cars, and how even South America is considering and working towards these CBDCs. So this whole earth is being prepared, man. And the only way for us to prepare is in a spiritual way, returning back to Yahawashi and acquiring knowledge with an understanding of the scriptures, because that eventually is going to be the stability of our time. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles who great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, French truth and sincerity. Shalom.